Your Trapper Outdoors is brought to you by Who's Your Trapper Supply. J3 Outdoors, manufacturer of the Hags Bracket and Body Trap Spring Clip. Leatherwood Creek Trapping Scents, Who's Your Trapper Deer Scents, and Leatherwood Wildlife Art.
All right, welcome to episode 3 of Who's Your Trapper Outdoors. On this episode, we'll continue with our Kansas trapline. After we get done with Kansas, we'll go to the semi-live, and then we'll round out the season with Arkansas. I want to remind everyone about the rendezvous coming up on September 24th. It's here at Who's Your Trapper Supply. Good full day of demos, kids games, good food, tailgaters. Just a good, enjoyable day. We'll have a fundraising auction at the end of the day for Chapter 7B Fur Takers of America, who is actually the host of this get-together. Want to remind everyone about the Trap House podcast. So basically, you probably all know, for the most part, that it goes every other week, and then Who's Your Trapper Outdoors. So Who's Your Trapper Outdoors, Trap House podcast, Who's Your Trapper Outdoors, etc. throughout the season. Get those questions in for question and answer segment, and we'll address those on the show. Obviously, if someone has a question, probably numerous people do, so it's good to ask them. I think that's it. Hope you enjoy the show. Got this drainage here. Obviously, you can see we got a coyote, and there's a trail going right straight through this drainage. Obviously, it's bone dry. And where I caught the coyote, we'll show you up here. It's got like a cattle trail that was going across the ditch here. So. Had a cattle trail coming down through there. It's just obviously up through there. So between this going this way and going that way, kind of a no-brainer on where to set this up at. So it's check day 3. Basically our first pull-in field here to check. So we're starting the day out good. So sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes that sets a precedent that the rest of the day goes downhill. We'll see how it plays out.
Looks good.
Just put a little bit of urine on there. So this one, because of the setup right here, I mean the ground's so hard you can't get a dirt hole in, so I just punched my stake driver in there, made a little hole, shoved some top dog in there, squirt some bobcat urine on it right here in the front. Draft's right here in the front. Good to go. That might be a coyote dropping, but it's not. All right, we got a lot of traps to check, Justin.
Let's go. There's our second coyote of the day. Good morning. Top dog strikes again. Pretty cool. Not sure what kind of set was there, I done forgot, but it's all flat now. I'm gonna take care of him and remake. Charlie's got another set over here somewhere on this edge. Here it is. Dirt hole. no disturbance. So, beautiful morning. Way to start. Alright, here's the remake. We just, after we caught that coyote, he tore this all up, cleared out everything. There's no backing anymore, there's no nothing. So, right here's the trap. Very well blended. Then I went ahead and punched 3 holes. And those are slightly sifted over as well. Put attractant in those 3 to kind of draw to the center. So there's plenty of coyote smell here. And we're just gonna wait them out for the next time around. We set this up thinking, you know, it's very caddy-like in here. Brushy draw, coming funneling in and out of here. We probably expect to catch maybe a few coons in the process. But running this edge must have been a coyote. Got the crop change up, there's some tall grass and plenty of round bales around. So it's a great location, I like it. So very blended. It's hard to see that set. So we'll see what happens in the next few days. I would not be surprised if we connect again.
Pretty one.
First cooner of the day. Check day 3 still rolling. That's pretty.
So we got this canyon area set up. There's a dirt hole on the other side of that little drainage ditch. Justin's got a couple sets over there. He's got another set that he hadn't seen yet. And this one took this coon here. Obviously we're targeting coyotes, but this is a nice silver tip coon. Nice pretty coon. So you don't really think of Kansas, I mean in the scheme of things I guess, but they got an awesome coon out here and they're really big. So very nice. All right, here's the remake for that coon. So he's got everything all tore up, which is a great visual for anything coming by here. Got the dirt hole right here, pretty shallow. I just scooped everything up, put it behind the set. You can call it whatever you want, trash pile, whatever. I'm just call it make and do with what you got. That's it. So this set, anything coming by here, this set is way better now than it was before caught the coon. So just the disturbance alone is that any animal's going to check this out. So, so now we just got to wait for the coyotes to come through. I think once they come through, we're set up for them for sure. So, just basically got this whatever you want to call it, this canyon funnel here, and Justin's got traps on that side of that drainage, and I got some on this side. So, good shape. So when you see, if you ship your fur, for those of you that used to ship to NAFA, shipping fur harvesters, they always got a distinction between western coon and eastern coon. And a big reason for that difference is all that silver flank fur right there. You can just see how that, we just don't have that in the east like that. The coons generally out here, the hair's straighter, not quite as kinky, but more than anything, it's just all that silver flank hair. And that's the distinction, one of the bigger distinctions between an eastern and a western coon. And if you got a coon market that's just fair, which right now it's very poor, but if you got a coon market that's fair, these will always be in demand over the eastern coons. So just kind of a baseline there for why that is. So I wish I had an eastern coon here to compare the two, but it's very significant. Well, caught another coon. This is supposed to be for a bobcat. That's kind of the thing with trapping areas for bobcats. You're going to catch these coons and stuff. So it's kind of a small one for out here, but it's a pretty one. So get him taken care of and get this set remade. And
Hags Trapping Products by J3 Outdoors, the most versatile and efficient trapping devices on the market.
All right, big old coon in a trap right here. It's that trail set I showed the other day that I was made coming along here. Used the chain tie off, so he's actually all wrapped up over here. Didn't really affect the set itself, so not surprised obviously by catching a coon in that type of set. Thinking more bobcat is the target, but this is a big old coon, so we'll take him and keep checking traps. Okay, here's the remake on that where I just caught the coon. Since he was wrapped up over here on to my right, he didn't really affect the set area at all, so I just kind of put it back in there. It's not really what I would call blended. I'm gonna blend a little bit. There's the attractant stuck up underneath that limb right there, and so they got to cross those couple limbs, and then traps right there. So anyways, it's designed for a bobcat. I know that it'll catch anything coming down this trail. Obviously caught this big old coon. Okay.
Another coon. They definitely moved last night. What is that, 4, Charlie, today?
I think so.
So, yeah, from a distance, we thought we might have had a skunk the way it was acting from far. I was like, oh, great. But nope, just another ringtail. He's got a nice wad of trash here ready for me to fit in the new set. See if I can punch in a dirt hole and get some more attractant in there. Been using a lot of Top Dog, obviously, and on remakes, I've been kind of switching it up and just trying to do something different. I've been using liquid fox and coyote bait, so probably do the same here on this one. So this set, as you can see, it got a nice trash pile mound. There's a good sized dirt hole there, so I did not go with my liquid fox and coyote. So I went back to Top Dog since we got a nice big hole. Cover that. Plenty of smell here. Might just put a little bit of bobcat urine there and call it good. Throw some of this over the blood and I'm fine with that.
All right, on the last video when Mike Huber did the skunk gland demo about removing the essence, we had several comments on that segment, and we're going to release this into the how-to section, so it'll be there for a quick reference from now until as long as the YouTube is around. So the questions were some more specific about what size syringe and needle were used. I mean, generally, I'm not an expert on any of this stuff at all, but this is a 16 gauge 1-inch needle on a 12cc syringe, and that was, you know, anything in that area will work just fine. The biggest thing on the skunk essence is most common mistake when people store it, they'll put it in a bottle with a metal lid. It needs to go in glass, but I would definitely use a plastic lid. That skunk essence is pretty corrosive on metal, or is very corrosive on metal. So if you can use glass bottle, plastic lid, you'll be in good shape. And like I said, just stay away from metal. At that point, just keep it out of the sun. It doesn't have to be kept refrigerated or anything like that. So that's it. Real simple. Generally, just kind of that bigger size syringe. Get that essence out, squirt it in your bottle, put the plastic cap on it, and you're good to go. All right, Q&A. So a very common question that we get, and I've answered this before, but obviously it bears repeating, is storing lure, urine, that type of thing. It doesn't require refrigeration. If you want to put it in a refrigerator, that's fine, but it's definitely not necessary. If you want to put urine in a refrigerator, that's fine. That would probably, you know, I don't necessarily recommend it, but if you want to put urine in a refrigerator, that is okay. So the big thing is to keep it out of the sun. If it's in an outdoor shed and it's 100 degrees outside, it's fine. It's not going to be 100 degrees every day. So, you know, all of that stuff is just fine at an outdoor temperature or in a climate controlled temperature as far as that goes. But people get really wrapped up in this stuff. If that lure sets for a year, and even though the bottle is half used or whatever, it'll be just fine the next year. A lot of it will actually may get better with age. for instance, our top dog I think is better if it sits another year. It will get more liquidy, but it's just fine. So no reason to discard lure or bait that is left from one season to the next. Now, in regard to urine, if you have a half a bottle of urine, say you have a 16-ounce bottle of urine and you got half of it left, it is better to get rid of that airspace. So in other words, drop that 16-ounce bottle, which is half empty, down to an 8-ounce bottle, which is going to basically fill that bottle up and eliminate that airspace. So if you're close or whatever and you have it, just add a little bit of glycol or glycerin, and that'll take up that air gap area. You can do that too. So I wouldn't add. Well, it would be okay to add up to 50% glycol or glycerin, but you're definitely going to dilute the urine out. So, but if it's worth keeping from one year to the next, and not have to necessarily replace it. One common thing that we hear about urine is it's picking up a strong ammonia smell. If it's not picking up a strong ammonia smell, I would be very concerned about it. And that ammonia smell, if it's bothering you at the set, it will actually air out. It's not a big deal. So, but urine smells like ammonia. That's just the bottom line. And if, like I said, if it doesn't smell like that, I'd be way more concerned. Urine basically kind of goes three different directions. So if you're keeping it, have the ammonia smell, which is normal and good. Then you'll have the just like a flat smell with no smell to it all. Obviously not good urine. Or ones that want to smell like sewer, which is completely spoiled. So those are the three areas that typically urine go. And the first one, the ammonia smell, is where you want to be. So I hope that helps. Helps clear some of that questions up about storing and keeping scent from one year to the next.
Trapping has been a lifelong passion of mine. Back in 1976, I started Hoosier Trapper Supply, and we've had the privilege of serving trappers across this great country for all these years. We carry a complete line of traps and trapping equipment. You can check us out at HoosierTrapperSupply.com.
Trapping plays a very important role in modern-day wildlife management. Professional wildlife biologists monitor fur-bearer populations to maintain a healthy and sustainable harvest of this important, renewable natural resource. Trapping provides recreation and income for licensed trappers across this country.